One of the biggest benefits to staying in a Disney resort, their complimentary airport transportation Magical Express, has ended. And it's left a lot of families wondering if staying at a Disney resort is still worth it. Keep watching for some things that you need to know before choosing to stay off-site.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
So even though Magical Express is no longer available, there are still some benefits to staying on site. There's the advanced dining reservation advantage, and you're able to make your dining reservations for 60 days plus 10. So on your check-in day, you're able to make it for the length of your stay, as long as you're staying less than 10 days. If you're staying off-site, you have to get up every morning and make it at that 60-day mark. So if you're trying to get something hard to get, like Be Our Guest, Cinderella's Royal Table, Ohana, or Storybook dining at Artist Point, it's going to be a very low chance that you're going to get those dining reservations because the people staying on site have already booked for those days. On-site guests also have access to early entry, which is 30 minutes prior to park opening. So if you're staying off-site, there's typically a line before you even get in. There's also extended evening hours for deluxe guests, which gives you an advantage of being able to go into the park later when there's not as many crowds, only for deluxe guests. Individual lightning lane advantage. So if you're staying on site, you get to make your individual lightning lane at 7 a.m. versus at park opening if you're staying off site. If you're trying to get a lightning lane for Rise of the Resistance or Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, those are usually gone by 7 a.m., by 7:02. So if you are staying off site, you're probably unlikely to get those individual lightning lanes. There's also the complimentary transportation to the parks, buses, boats, monorails, depending on where you're staying. If you are staying off-site, some resorts do offer shuttle buses, but they're every hour or they don't start until after the park opens, and the times just aren't really conducive to optimal park touring. So that complimentary transportation is a huge advantage because you do want to either rent your car or use Uber, and those costs add up when you're staying off-site. And then there's the convenience. Depending on where you're staying, you can walk to the parks. Otherwise, you can go back for a break really easily. If you're staying off-site, renting a car, you have to drive to the Magic Kingdom Park, take the ferry or the monorail over, and it ends up being like about an hour to get into the Magic Kingdom from the parking lot. So there is some added convenience to staying on-site. That's not to say that some off-site resorts don't have those added benefits. The Swan, the Dolphin, the Disney Springs Resorts, the Four Seasons, and the Waldorf Astoria enjoy some of those benefits of staying on-site, like early entry and the ADR advantage. Some of the things that you can't do staying off-site, even at one of those resorts, is you can't add the dining plan when it's available. You can't ship back to your resort, have your purchases sent back to your resort, and you can't charge to your room. So those are some things that even if you are staying at off-site that has some of the benefits, you don't have all of the benefits. One of the reasons I do love staying on-site is because of the packages. The packages with room and ticket have more flexible terms. It's a $200 deposit and it's fully refundable up until 30 days prior to arrival. So all you have to do is make your $200 deposit, and you have until a month before you check in to decide whether or not you're going, and you can get that $200 back. With an off-site resort, you have to do your room and your tickets separately. When you buy your tickets separately, they must be paid in full at the time of booking. So they are non-refundable, and you need your tickets for park reservations. So you definitely want to get those at least a few months in advance. And so it's a little bit more of a financial commitment because those are non-refundable and they're pretty expensive. They can add up pretty quickly. I know many people like to stay off-site because of the cost. When just looking at the room rate, it seems like off-site is a lot cheaper, but make sure you're comparing apples to apples. I did a video called The Hidden Costs of Off-Site that I think that you'll really enjoy. If you are considering staying off-site, you can kind of figure out what's missing so you can compare those apples to apples to make sure you really are saving by staying off-site. Of course, there are some benefits to staying off-site as well. You can get a larger space for a lower cost. If you're going to enjoy some of Orlando's other area attractions like Universal, SeaWorld, or just, Orlando in general, it's a lot easier to get to. You're not in Disney property, so you're able to get off to those other places. You can use your loyalty programs. If you're staying at a Marriott, a Hilton, or a Hyatt, you can earn or use points, which is great for those who are traveling often and really involved in those loyalty programs. The food costs off-site are a little bit less than those on-site, so you can stop at a McDonald's or at any chain restaurant, Chili's, Applebee's, etc., and keep those food costs a little bit lower. And of course, with Genie Plus, with FastPass, there was a huge distinction between being able to book when you're on-site and being able to book when you're off-site. With Genie Plus, there is no distinction. On-site folks can book at the same time as off-site folks. So that's a benefit that's something that's no longer a benefit for resort guests. It's important to know that Disney is over 40 square miles, so even though it says it's near Disney's main gate, it could be more than 20 minutes to the closest park. I did do a video on off-site areas, so this will kind of walk through the different areas where you're going to find clusters of resorts and which ones are the most conducive to a Disney trip. There are some things that you need to know. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. Do not rely on the shuttle. Even though it says there's a complimentary shuttle, you're going to end up so behind everybody else. You definitely want to have the flexibility of having a rental car or an Uber, so make sure you include that into your cost analysis. I hope this helped. If you would like me to help you decide whether staying on-site or off-site is best for you, you can click the Get Started link in the description below, and I would love to help you plan your Disney vacation so that you don't have to worry about all the details. I can take care of it for you and make sure you have a vacation that the entire family enjoys. That includes you, Mom. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to take a break from the busy.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.